Order in the Senate! Order in the Senate! Are we all okay? I hereby pronounce this Senate is in session. Hi, and welcome to Red Evony. I am Akayasha, but you can call me Senator Aka. Okay, as you probably well know, the Senate is a building full of buffs. Not old people, buffs. Which under normal circumstances would be great. But I'm sure we've also heard that the Senate requires a lot of Ascension and blood of Aries. And because of that, some of us might be apprehensive to using the Senate or even figuring out what it's about. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily the case. So, we're going to go through the Senate, see what it has in store for us, and at the end, I'll give some recommendations or tips to help make your optimization of the Senate a bit smoother. But before we jump right in, let's have a quick word from the sponsors of this video. Amazon is back. Yes, folks, the Amazon App Store is back, and for a limited period, they are providing discounts to Evony players. Players in these regions with Android devices will be able to take advantage of this offer using Amazon Coins, which is the digital currency required for the Amazon App Store. To get set up, there's a link in the description of this video, which will take you to the Amazon landing page for Evony. If you scroll down, you will see the first QR code, which will let you download the Amazon App Store. The second QR code, you need to download Evony. Once you've downloaded the App Store and Evony, then you load up on Amazon Coins. You'll get some discounts depending on the amount of coins that you get, and you can use those coins to purchase your packs in-game. You also get varying discounts depending on the in-game pack that you go for. And that's pretty much it. So, if this is something that you're interested in, then be sure to use the link down below to get yourself set up with the Amazon App Store and Amazon Coins and start saving again on Evony. Now, back to the video. We have the Senate building here, okay, also called Council of State. And as you can see, Senate right there. Once you go in, you are greeted with this menu of titles, okay? And when you click on the titles, if it's your first time, you will likely see a lot of the options locked like this. To unlock these positions, you need to upgrade your Senate building, okay? So if you come out, you will literally have to upgrade it the way you would any normal building. Now, if you're just starting out, you'll be starting out at level 1, which is pretty easy to do, okay? But as you progress, as a prerequisite, the Senate requires you to upgrade your victory column. So, this is the victory column right here, and you will have to upgrade this periodically to make sure that you can upgrade your Senate. You will also need to upgrade your pasture as well, but if you've been doing your spirit beast, you won't have any issues with this building. So if we go back to the Council of State, you can see here, requires pasture level 35, that is done. Requires victory column level 5, which I'm yet to do. So I can't upgrade my Senate building to the next level. So once you've upgraded your Senate to a decent level, if you come back in, you will see, like for example here, that some of the options are now unlocked and available. Okay, so you would simply pick the title you want to start with depending on what you've unlocked, and you go in. In this case, let's go to Governor right here. So we come to Governor, and you can see that I have already assigned some generals to the various positions. Now coming back to this title here, if we tap on it, we have the various slots, and these slots are filled based on troop type. So the first one that we have here with the shield, that's for ground troops. The next one is for mounted troops. The one after that is for ranged troops. And then finally, the last one is for siege troops. So when you tap on it, like this one for example, it will show you the various ground generals that you have available that could be used to fill that slot. Okay? You can't fill it with a different type of general. So you pick a general to fill it, and that's that. So in this case, let's pick Trajan here. There we go. Trajan has been assigned to this position. And this Senate pretty much works in a similar way to duty generals. Okay? Once you've assigned them to the Senate, you can't use them to do anything else. They will just be there permanently. Now, if you want to remove a general from an assignment, you just come out, okay? Go to your general list. Let's put it in this view. And we have Trajan here. If I tap resign, he has been removed from the commander position. If we go back to the Senate building, come back to commander here, you can see it's empty. So assigning generals to the Senate is really as easy as all that, okay? Now, if we come out and we come to this title here, governor, you can see that I have already assigned several generals in this one, okay? So this one is filled up, which is good. Now, here comes the interesting bit. Once you've assigned your generals, there are basically 3 levels of buffs that you can get from the Senate. I'm breaking them down into these 3 levels. So the first one that we have, level 1, is what I'm calling Ascension buffs. So if we tap right here, you have a drop-down menu of buffs. These are all buffs that you will get for ascending the general that you have assigned here. So in this case, I have Turin here, 5 stars. So I have marching ground troop defense 4% unlocked. If I were to ascend him once, I will unlock the next one, in city range troop HP 8%. If I ascend him again, I get the next one, in city siege machine defense, and so on until I have completed his ascension. Okay? And that's how it works. It's the same for all the other generals assigned. So if I tap on Li Jing's one here, you can see his drop-down menu there again. If I tap on the one for Electra, that's basically it, okay? So these level 1 ascension buffs is why people say you need to ascend generals for the Senate. And unless you're a big coiner, this is the part that a lot of people dread. However, as I said earlier, there are 3 different levels. And the other 2 levels do not require ascension. So let's close these menus here. And if we see here, upgrade position level, if we tap on it, this is where you get the level 2 buffs. I'm going to call these position buffs. Now, if you tap on the assignment line here, you'll get another drop-down menu which gives you the various buffs that you get for these position buffs. Also, if you tap activate here, it takes you to its own dedicated menu and you can see everything that you get. Now, you start at level 0 and each time you upgrade, you move up 1 level. So right here, if you move up to level 1, these are the buffs that you're going to get. Okay? If we look down here, you can see the next one that he has here is level 5. So you upgrade to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll get various buffs along the way as you're upgrading. So once I upgrade this one to level 5, I'll get ground and mounted troop attack 4%. And that's basically how it works. For you to do the upgrade, you need this item. That's the Merit Jade. I'm sure you've probably seen this around. You can get this Merit Jade from your daily activity and also as drops from boss monsters. Okay, pretty simple and straightforward. Now, once you have enough Merit Jade for the upgrade, then you tap upgrade here and it will do it. So let's do this one as an example. Okay, I'm going to tap upgrade now. It gives me this menu. Tap confirm. There we go. Upgraded from level 1 to level 2. For the next level upgrade, You can see that the marching ground troop HP is going up to 6%. So let's upgrade it. Okay. Upgrade it to level 2. To go to level 3, you can see the new attributes there. Let's do that. Okay, that's level 3. Let's do level 4. And finally, when you get to level 5, it introduces another item, which is the golden twig. Okay, so these are the amounts that you need here. Golden twig, pretty much the same. You get through daily activity and for killing bosses. So you can see here that the attribute is going to go from 12 to 15. And since I'm moving to level 5, I should also get this level 5 attribute as well. So let's tap on it and see what we get. Okay, so there we are. By upgrading to level 5, I have gotten marching ground troop HP 15% and ground troop and mounted troop attack plus 4%. So that's basically it for the position buffs. And like I said, no blood of Ares required. Now, if we exit this, if we see at the bottom here, it's got a button that says promote. If we tap on it, this is what I'm calling the level 3 buffs. Okay, so these are the promotion buffs. Basically, you can get extra buffs in this stage when you have done your level 2 buffs up to a certain level. So as you can see at the bottom here, we have the requirements for this governor title. And as you can see, you need to upgrade your ground position to level 5. You need to upgrade your mounted position also to level 5. For your ranged and for your siege, no need to upgrade. They're at 0. So that's that. And then once you upgrade it, you get this buff here. So for the first upgrade, I will get attacking ranged troop and siege machine HP 15% and marching ground troop attack plus 15%. So for this one, what you need is the golden twig. All right. And you can see the requirements there. So let's head out. Let me do the upgrade for my mounted troops and then we'll come back to this menu. Okay, there we are. So as we come back, you can see everything is all green now. Okay, now with this, we are good to do the promotion. If we tap on promotion, there it is. And we have unlocked that level 1 part of the promotion. That's basically all it is. Again, as I said, no Ascension or Blood of Ares required. So with this, you can get a ton of buffs from the Senate. Now that we've gone through what you can pretty much expect from the Senate, it's time to go over some recommendations or tips to help you maximize what you can get from the Senate. The first recommendation that we have here is to upgrade your Council of State building as much as you can. Doing this will enable you unlock as many slots as possible inside the titles in the Senate. That means that you have more opportunities to assign generals and more opportunities to get buffs. One important point to note is that you don't have to fill one title before you can do the other. You can definitely unlock slots once you meet the building requirement and any other requirement that that slot has. So I have commander here. I have 2 slots open. I have marshal, no slots open. But if you come here, I have leading senator and I have 2 unlocked. That's because I met the building requirements and I also met the specific requirements for this particular title. So upgrade your building as much as you can so that you can unlock more slots. The other benefit of first focusing on upgrading your building is that it allows you time to accumulate all the twigs and merit jades that you're going to be using in the upgrade. If we come here, you can see all the merit jades that I still have. These have been accumulated over time. Also, if we come to the promotion, you can see the amount of twigs that I have left. So be sure to accumulate as many of them as you can. Now, the next recommendation that I'm going to give is regarding generals. Putting it simply, the generals you want to be using in the Senate should be either tavern generals or relic generals. That's because their fragments will be easy for you to get when you want to do the level 1 Ascension buffs in the Senate. The other type of generals that you want to use would be retired or discarded generals. So these are generals that you've either switched to a new general, so you're not using that general anymore, you can pop them in the Senate, or generals that you've gotten and you've decided that you are not going to be using these generals for anything. You can pop them in the Senate as well. As much as possible, try to avoid premium generals. So that's that. The next recommendation I'm going to give you is that as much as possible, you should try to delay doing your level 1 Ascension buffs. That's what I'd recommend. For most people, we're still struggling with ascending our main generals. So doing Ascension for Senate generals is a luxury that not everyone can afford. So I would say leave this level 1 Ascension buffs until much later when you're in a better position to do it. In the meantime, what you will focus on in the Senate will be your level 2 position buffs and your level 3 promotion buffs. So you will do these two first before you start worrying about doing the Ascension. Next, before you start, make sure you check out all the buffs that are available. Why? Because the buffs differ for different positions. Take this one, for example. This is the ground position that Turin is in. Okay, you can see that the first level 5 said ground troop and mounted troop attack 4%. If we come out and we come to the mounted position here, okay, what do we have? Ground and mounted troop HP 4%. And you can see the other stats going down are different. If we come out and we come to the promotion buffs, okay, the first one we had here, attacking range troop and siege machine HP 15%, marching ground troop attack 15%. If we exit this and we come to commander over here, if we tap on the promotion buffs at the bottom, you can see the first buff that it has there. In-city ground troop and mounted troop HP 12%, in-city siege machine defense 20%. So the buffs you get are actually different. What you'd want to do is to make sure that you study the buffs for all the slots that you have assigned generals to, determine which buffs you want now as a priority, and then work on those buffs. So you'd want to do that to make sure that you are getting the right buffs that you want, but you would also want to be selective, as we've talked about here, because your merit jades and golden twigs will be in limited supply. So you want to make sure that you're putting them to the things that you want at the right time. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the Senate is a building that is full of buffs. However, it's not the only building like that, okay? There are other buildings that are pretty much chock full of buffs. One of those buildings is your pasture. And that is because your pasture is where you have your spirit beast seals. Now, if you're someone that is significantly looking to increase your buffs, which I would assume is why you paid attention to the Senate, then you'd also want to look at the seals here. And for this, we have this video over here that goes in depth into what you can expect from your spirit beast seals and the best approaches for you to maximize what you can get with it. So, if you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. Aka signing out.